Hey, everybody. Before we get into our show, we want to bring you some kind of tragic news from up here in the industry in Canada. On October 13th, acclaimed Mi'kmaq filmmaker Jeff Barnaby passed away from cancer. He was 46. We thoroughly enjoyed his work here on the show. Everything from Blood Quantum to Rhymes for Young Ghouls, and even his short work, File Under Miscellaneous. It's a huge loss to the industry up here, and just a fantastic storyteller. So our condolences to his family, and rest in power, Jeff.
On April 21st, 2006, the first recorded glitch in the Matrix occurred. A horror movie with Sean Bean in it was released, and he didn't fucking die. Because we're talking movies, we're talking Silent Hill, starring Rahada Mitchell, Laurie Holden, and the aforementioned Sean Bean, written by Roger Avery and directed by Christophe Gans. You've darkened the heart of an innocent, and now you cower in the face of Alessa's revenge.
What's it gonna be, city boy? I can put you in jail, or you can go home. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like Your Movie? This is our third installment of, as Chris is titling it, Hot Ghouls of Halloween. We're covering 2006 Silent Hill, and we have a fantastic guest in horror photographer, Andrea Hunter. Andrea, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, Scott.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Very well.
Thanks
Looking
for
forward to
having
this.
me
So why don't you do some shameless self-promotion? Because that's the best kind of promotion. It's my favorite kind of promotion.
I'm the worst at that kind of promotion, but yeah, I'm a horror photographer, fantasy photographer, ethereal, portrait, fashion, editorial, anything that's cool and hot. I take photos of. I own a photography studio in Hamilton that's just full of cool creative sets. I've toured the world doing photography, which is pretty fun. I've shot for a lot of bands, and I just have a huge passion for horror. So that definitely comes out in a lot of my photos, I feel.
So both you and Scott are wearing very cool. Actually, I'm wearing a Death Proof t-shirt. You can't see it, but we're all actually wearing kind of jammy shirts. You got some Friday the 13th, and Scott, what do you got on there? You got your Michael Myers shirt on?
Yeah, I got the
I
Halloween
love that
safeties.
one.
Have you seen? Andrea? Have you seen the latest installment in the Halloween franchise?
No, I hated.
that was an exasperated no.
heavy question. No, I hated Halloween Ends or Kills, Halloween Kills. So I'm like kind of dreading this one. Like I'm gonna watch it, but I have really low expectations for it.
Hey, low expectations are good because then at least they're satisfied.
Yeah,
Lowered
exactly.
expectations. Lowered expectations. Okay, so bands. Can you tell us some of the bands you've toured with? Some of the big ones?
So they're kind of like a local hot band around here at Walk Off the Earth. Yeah, they got famous years ago for the 5 people playing one guitar kind of thing.
Yeah, for what's that?
The Go Jays,
yeah.
Someone I used to know, yeah. So they blew up, and then they're really good at just like keeping it within the community. So a few years ago, they had me come on tour with them, so we got to travel across like Canada, America, Europe, and everything, which is really cool. And then we got to tour with like a couple other people on those tours. So like the Dare Nots are another awesome local band. Tessa Violet, she's a pretty cool artist from the States, but yeah, just pretty much them, and yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
So, and I have in my notes that you are doing some music video work as like a DOP or a director, or what are you doing?
Yeah, all the above. I literally just started doing that recently. My boyfriend's actually a DOP and a director, and he works in movies and film. But he did music videos for years, so I used to always help on set and do a lot of these videos. We did a lot of the Walk Off the Earth videos, like a lot of local like metal bands, and he's in a band too, so a few of their videos. So I've like been in that world a lot and seen a lot and helped out on a lot of sets. So now that he's transitioned to film, I was like, fuck it, why don't I give this a go?
So when does this music video come out, or is it already available?
Well, I've done three recently, in the past like month. They're just like local girls, but they're pretty awesome. The videos are cute and fun, but they'll be coming out, I think, actually pretty soon. But yeah, I have a cool video coming up this week or next week with a local artist, Melissa Marchese. She's one of my good friends. And she put her trust in me to do this video. So we're just creating our own smash room, and we're just going to smash a bunch of shit in slow motion while she sings and dances around. So I'm pretty stoked about that one.
Are you doing all your own post-production, or do you have a post house, or?
Yep, I'm doing all the editing myself as well. Just learning that. Also, I just started learning DaVinci Resolve for editing, and I love it. It's actually really cool, really user-friendly. So yeah, I've just been doing my own edits and just kind of fucking around. I've been doing like a lot of like videos of my photo shoots as well. So kind of like a fashion video more so. I did like a witches shoot a couple of weeks ago with a few of my girlfriends that I'll be putting out probably closer to Halloween. So it's just kind of cool, creepy, dark video, very horror style, which is fun.
Yeah. So actually your friend and collaborator, Linda,
yeah,
is currently on one of my shoots right now that I'm producing. And I will be leaving this to jump in the car and drive to Toronto.
Like Haunted Museum?
No, she's we're doing a short film called Passage, and she's
cool.
our makeup artist for the 3 days or whatever.
Oh, that's
you know how
sick.
she works like, 28 hours a day and somehow 9 days a week, right? So
yes, yeah. I actually did I helped out on set with her and like this Haunted Museum show like last week. I did like set deck for a couple days just to dabble in the film world as well.
Yeah.
Just trying everything.
You also have worked with like a fairly famous person on their shoe campaign.
I have, yeah. I last summer I worked with Kat Von D on her shoe campaign, Von D Shoes. So I just got in touch with her through an agency, and she was running her entire shoe company herself, like doing all the marketing and like web design and sales and everything. And it was just obviously a lot. She's a very busy person. So she brought this agency on, and they reached out to me and they're just like, "You're the girl for the job. Like, are you interested?" Fuck yeah, obviously. So yeah, she sent a bunch of her shoes up here and we shot like the whole new campaign to promote it. And then a few months later, she flew us down to LA and we got to shoot in her house, which was really really cool. She has that like red pool. I don't know if you guys have seen it online. She has it was like trending for a bit, but she has a pool. She painted the liner red. So it's just like a red pool.
Oh, cool.
Sick. Yeah, it's like a pool of blood.
Nice.
So is there anything else you want to tell us and our audience about you or the work you're doing before we jump into Silent Hill?
Not really, just pretty much my studio is like my biggest passion right now. I have 8 sets in there, so I'm constantly just building new sets and rotating it for like holidays and stuff. So right now I have a few Halloween sets that are really fun in there. But yeah, it's available to rent for like other photographers and videographers, music videos, commercials, even housing or holding for like film and stuff. So like a 6 space, it's creative space, so it's just like open for whoever wants to use it.
And you also do like photo shoots yourself. Like you run like packages basically, like boudoir, but like horror boudoir, I guess I call it. Like, what would you call it? Like it's the stuff you do is super sexy. It is hot ghouls. Like it is hot ghouls everywhere. I love the work you do. It's like neon noir most of the time. I think that's how I first actually talked to you. I was like, man, this has got such a like I said, neon noir aesthetic to it. So how do you book your packages? How does that work?
That's actually funny you said it's like sexy bowls. Linda and I used to say we like created like awkward boners because you don't know how to feel because you're turned on, but like the girls all like bloody and weird. So that's what we're in the industry of. Boner alert. But I run specials like every month or so where I'll just like pick a day and a theme, and then I'll just book a bunch of people in for that day at like a discounted price because I don't have to like do so many days side by side. So I'll run those every once in a while. We just did our witches one, which is a pretty big one every year. We do 2 days, 2 to 3 days, and we just book as many girls as we can a day. I build a couple like witchy sets, and Linda does really, really cool witchy makeup on them. And then they do the photo shoot, they get the edits, and then they're good to celebrate Halloween. But people can book pretty much shoots with me anytime. Like a lot of people come to me with like ideas that they've had for a while and they want me to help bring to life. Or some people come to me and they're just like, I just want to do something cool. Give me an idea. Like I'm down to do it. So it's pretty much whatever people want, I can shoot it.
And what is your primary mode of contact for this type of stuff? Do you use it through your Instagram, or is there a
I'd say
webpage?
Instagram.
We'll put this all in our show notes. So
yeah, Instagram and like my website, andreahunter.ca. That's pretty much how I get all my bookings through.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys ready to do this?
Let's do this.
Sure am.
So before Scott takes this away, my question to you is, Andrea, why did you pick this film?
I don't really know, actually. It's just like one of my favorites. I have a really big crush on Pyramid Head. I call him Pyramid Babe because he's just such a babe. I did a really, really cool Silent Hill cosplay years ago, and we won a costume competition. So I was pretty proud of that. And I still have my nurse mask to this day because it was just like such an epic costume. I couldn't breathe all night, but I was really proud of it. And yeah, I just really like the movie. I loved the video games when I was younger too. I used to play them with like my buddies in college and stuff. And yeah, just I don't know. It's just like definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, Scott, you want to take a driver's seat for a bit then?
Yeah, I'm sorry, because this movie makes me so sad. As like personally, I enjoy Christophe Gans films a lot, and Brotherhood of the Wolf is in my top 10. Like, I love that fucking movie. And then knowing that this was like a passion project of his, and this is the outcome of what came through it, you know, I'm very sad because, well, this movie did make money. Like, this movie was in theaters like domestically for like 2 months,
Really?
which I'm super surprised. It was number one. It was number one. It's weekend it came out, and then that was in April, and then it didn't get out of theaters till the end of June. And then for some reason, for the World Cup that year, Germany started rerunning this movie, so it made more money off that. So I don't know why. Chris, can you explain Germany's obsession with Silent
I have
Hill?
no idea, considering it's a French director shot in Canada. like there's nothing German, and it's a Japanese video game. You know what I mean? So, but Scott's right. Yeah, it had a $50 million budget. It made $100 million, depending on how much marketing. I mean, they may have broken even, or they would have made money. Usually the rule is double, but I don't know what their marketing budget was behind this. So yeah, people. It's weird. It did well in the box office. It's got a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics and a 63% from audience. But the money was there. Like, I don't know, maybe there was nothing else going on. I'm not 100% sure. I thought this movie was fucking awful. Remember, I'm the film person on this show, and there's other than the cinematography, there is almost no redeemable value in this film for me.
I think it's got to be nostalgia, a lot of nostalgia for it. Did you watch it when it first came out?
I did, and then I rewatched it to get ready. Did you rewatch it for this show?
I watched it this morning. It was great.
Great. Listen, okay, go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, the piece of trivia that I think is hilarious, especially on IMDb, it has about this film, is how, you know, they picked parts of Brantford to depict Silent Hill
and Hamilton.
But it was on Colborne Street, which I think is super hilarious because my brother-in-law now works on Colborne Street in Brantford. But back then, apparently, it was so decayed. They're like, we don't have to make it look like shit at all. we can just film it the exact same way it is.
That sounds about right.
Well, Andrew, your studio's in Hamilton.
It sure is.
You basically have a studio in Silent Hill.
I do.
And it's funny, for those who are from Southern Ontario, these conversations about Hamilton and Brantford being just like, especially back then, being so run down that they can be almost like in a post-apocalyptic or just like, you know, end of days kind of environment with no set dressing is like, yeah, or Windsor. I mean, I think Windsor could probably also still stand in for these environments, right? So
definitely.
Yeah, but you got to be. I was gonna say, you got to be careful what you're saying, because the sequel was Brantford and Cambridge. That's where it was filmed. So you got to be careful about that.
Woo! Go Seabridge. So
yeah, no,
we have that in the
sequel was terrible. Sequel was absolutely terrible.
And it's crazy because you got like Roger Avery writing on this, who's like probably most famous for working on the story, some of the story components of Pulp Fiction, and now with, get ready to drink,
3, 2.
Quentin Tarantino on the Video Archives podcast. We don't pitch a lot of podcasts on this show, but I love this one because I love Quentin Tarantino, so I listen to the Video Archives podcast.
You know they're not paying us, right?
I'm just hoping they pay attention.
Promotion.
I just want Quentin Tarantino to be like, "Hey, Chris, I heard you were talking about my show." But yeah, the writing is fucking awful. This has got some of the worst written dialogue. It made me feel like they just went to the video game and went, "Oh, what dialogue's in the video game? Okay, we'll just use that."
Genius, genius, genius.
Like, not like a scriptwriter sat down and was like, typewriter and cigarette in mouth and being like, "Oh, how can I make this some fantastic dialogue?" Like Peter Harlub of the San Francisco Chronicle had this to say: Silent Hill has plenty of bad acting, bad dialogue, and a confusing plot, all of which become exponentially more painful when the movie goes on forever. This is some of the longest 2 hours and 6 minutes I've had to watch in a while, man. Like, I'm all about pacing, and I'm like, how is this movie over 2 hours?
Yeah, it is.
So what do you like about it?
I was like, fuck, this is long.
You can't just say nostalgia because you just watched it. So what is it that you like about this movie?
I love everything. I think it's just like, I don't know. I love the creepiness about it. I love the special effects, especially for 2006. I think the effects were fucking really well done. Like when Pyramid Head rips off that chick's skin, that's pretty gnarly.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
pretty gnarly.
Well, and they used a lot of those creatures are not like CGI or anything. What they did is they used dancers, so people had the ability to like move their bodies and contort their bodies.
The nurses.
Did like really good hair. Do you think that you like it because you're kind of in that FX world, photography,
definitely,
or the aesthetic? Like you're like, stories.
Oh yeah, like the scene when the like siren goes off and everything like just goes black. Like I'm just like, oh, this would be so fun to like shoot in this set and like make this world. And like the makeup, like the nurse's makeup, like the one chick that has like the crying blood white out eyes, like makeup's so gnarly. It's so cool. It's just like, it's just a world that to me is really visually pleasing in a way.
So the DOP is Dan Laustsen, who is a super famous director of photography now. So he worked with the director on Brotherhood of the Wolf. He did Crimson Peak. Then he did John Wick 2 through 4, The Shape of Water, and Nightmare Alley. So he's like Del Toro's boy now too, right?
Yeah,
So just really, really, I believe he's a Danish cinematographer. Fantastic with the camera. And you see that. Like that's the one thing I will say about this film is that it's got great aesthetics. And again, another quote, and I actually have two this time, Jason Anderson from the Globe and Mail, some more can, as Scott likes to call it. Though Silent Hill's shoddy dialogue and incoherent story is constantly irate, several sights and scenes possess a certain surreal grandeur. And I would say, it's super surreal. It's very visually pleasing from a really creepy vibe. But the story is just like, is that how the game is? Like, do you have to have played this game to get this movie? Because I think that might be a bit of the challenge.
More or less, yeah. But like, what horror movie really has a good, deep story with great dialogue?
I mean, we just watched, what is it, Black Phone? Black Phone was pretty good.
Oh, I'm actually watching that tonight for the first time. I haven't seen that. I'm excited.
Yeah, both Scott and I really liked it. I'm pretty sure I jumped and scared and screamed.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you think of X by Ty West?
Oh, I just watched that the other day. That was actually really fun. I liked it. Yeah, it was, I jumped at some parts. Like some of those kills were really like, go! Like the crocodile got me.
the first kill with the boyfriend in the van and the stuff in the throat, I thought that was pretty epic.
The pitchfork, that cut scene with the pitchfork, and then a cut to like the girl in the basement or whatever, and the cut back to his eyes being ripped out, that got me. That was crazy. That was really well done.
Have you seen Pearl yet, the prequel?
No, I have not seen that.
So just imagine what the Wizard of Oz meets, what did we say, Scott? The Wizard of Oz meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's all filmed in Technicolor.
Oh, that sounds fun.
But yeah, like in terms of your question with the video game, like with me, I only played the second one, the second Silent Hill 2, where it was the guy going into the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I like doing the research for this that was the movie that Christophe Gans wanted to make too. He wanted to just do the second video game as the movie, but then the studio's like, No, you got to explain what Silent Hill is. But apparently, what Silent Hill is in the video game is nothing to what Silent Hill is in this movie, right?
I actually learned what Silent Hill is actually based off of today is a real town in the States that actually does have a burning coal still to this day, coal fire underneath it. So that's what like all of Silent Hill is actually loosely based off is that town.
And it's not bad enough that they had to come to Brantford to shoot it.
Yeah, no, not that bad.
The city that's actually on fire was actually too aesthetically pleasing. So
Yeah,
Brantford. Way to go, Brantford.
I'm assuming if it actually was on fire, like the fumes there would kill people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Come on, man. The things you do for art.
I don't know. But it is funny, like early 2000s, like internet's like Silent Hill is a ghost town, but it has highway markers on where to turn to get to Silent Hill.
Well, yeah, you have to know how to get there.
So I mean, for another video, I don't watch a lot of movies that are based on video games to my knowledge. The best example I was able to come up with is the first Resident Evil. And what I thought that movie is still scary as shit. Crazy action sequences. And you definitely didn't need to know anything about the video game because because of the way it starts, like you see the SWAT team go in and then they work their way through and then you slowly get information as the story plays out. It allows them to tell the whole story. So if you have no connection to the video game, you're like, oh, it's like people killing monsters. Oh, wait, how did these monsters get turned out? Oh, we're finding out because we're in the lab, yada, 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 yada. And again, with Silent Hill, I was like, I don't know if there's a bunch of information that I'm supposed to already have going into this film. So
I'll leave that up to you to figure out, I guess. I don't really remember the games that well, but I did love them. I just remember the babies, the crying babies that spit shit at you always freaked me out.
Yeah.
So what other films are on your like kind of top 5 of horror films? I'm assuming you watch a lot of horror considering you're literally wearing a Friday the 13th right now. So
I do. The Shining's definitely up there. I really, really like The Shining a lot.
Stanley Kubrick, baby.
It still creeps me out to this day. Like I just, the first Halloween, of course, that's like all the classics are pretty much my favorites. Really like Jordan Peele's movies. Like Get Out was fucking amazing.
Whoa, okay, this is awesome. Okay, what did you think of Nope?
It took me a while. It took me like 2 weeks of sitting on it, and then I decided I really liked it. So I left and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then I was like, I don't know how I feel. I'm like, it was fun. I had a lot of fun watching it, but I'm really confused. And then after thinking about it for a while, I was like, yeah, no, I liked it.
What did you like about it?
I liked how original it was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really, really original for an alien story. And it was just like, I don't know, it was shot really beautifully. I liked how it was shot a lot. And yeah, it was just funny. The whole monkey side storyline was a little confusing to me. I was like, is this really necessary? Like, I feel like just kind of jamming that in, but whatever.
I would have liked to see more monkey and less everything else, actually.
Yeah.
Like that monkey story could have been like
a bigger story. And I was like, that's it?
I mean, it's weird. You both agree with Scott and me, but on different points. Scott really liked that movie. I again thought it was atrocious, and Jordan Peele shouldn't be allowed to direct movies.
You didn't like the other ones?
I like Get Out is good. I don't like most of his stuff. I find that he has trouble executing a proper story narrative. So I think he works with great cinematographers, and he's got a great eye for set dressing and, like I said, a vibe and aesthetic. Mm-hmm. I just think maybe he's better to stay back and write, or get someone else to help write his stuff, or he's maybe just not a good director, and that's okay. Not everybody needs to be an auteur, right? So
that's fair. I love Get Out. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? I mean, it's funny. You list all these other movies. You could have chosen those movies too. You know, you have a whole world of movies, and you picked this one.
I know. I honestly think I was just like had just looked at the I did a Silent Hill photo shoot, so I think it was just like recently in my mind. So you just said horror movie, and I was like, Silent Hill.
Oh, we'll definitely be linking. Is that up on your Instagram?
Yeah, I can send it over to you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely be looking up
it's the costume that I made for Halloween years ago, and then we shot it.
Yeah, so what do you have any crazy plans for Halloween, because you are like immersed in that world?
Yeah, we always have a huge Halloween party at our house. We're the house on that street, so we have all the animatronics and the big display and everything. So people come through to our backyard and we have the whole display, and I just like to scare children.
And you have a Halloween party that goes along with that?
Yeah, like the Saturday of every Halloween, I just invite all my friends over and just have a big old party.
I cannot even imagine the level of anxiety that must go into some of your guests around putting together costumes. Like, you can't just show up. I feel like you can't just show up in like a sheet with some eyes and be like, oh, I'm a ghost, because like you've got like so many industry level people that are coming with like basically the set of Aliens, like the budget on Aliens, you know, being put into their costumes. And it's like, hey, I'm a ghost, or I'm something ironic, you know?
Yeah, last year my boyfriend had like a movie quality Wolverine like head and hands, and it was just so fucking sick looking. And then I was we did Underworld, so I dressed as what's her face, Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and did the whole vampire things, whatnot. But yeah, you gotta dress up, man. It's fun.
Yeah, dressing up was fine, but I mean, again, the level that you guys are probably capable of would be a bit intimidating to us normal.
I don't judge.
Scott, you got anything else before we let her go?
No, I just think it's super hilarious that we probably spent like 3 minutes talking about this movie, and it's just like, fuck. She said her part. I think I've said my part on it. Can somebody just explain one thing about this movie for me? In terms of the ending. So she's like the kid of Alessa, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of the scene, Alessa's like 9 when this thing with the janitor happens, right?
Yeah. What about that? Explain to that as to us to
that was the one thing that I couldn't get across. I'm like, okay, so now she's not dead, she's a teenager or whatever.
No, that happened to her, and then she turned evil when they burned her. And then the little evil kid that comes out was like the only, or Alessa that came out was like the only good part of her. Oh yeah.
Oh, so the baby wasn't from the janitor?
No. Oh wait, maybe it was. No,
because that's the way it made it seem like.
No, the crazy old woman, that's her mom. So she's just like a bastard child. So that's why they burn her.
Yeah, her. But then the baby that becomes the main character,
Sharon.
Yeah, is supposed to be, like you said, the goodness.
Yeah.
So it's not actually like, it's actually like 100% like spirit baby or something like that. Like it's not a actual biological byproduct of that janitor.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's not like a rape baby. We'll go with that.
We'll just cut out what you said, Chris. But yeah, that was the one thing I couldn't. I'm like, the way they angled it and presented that story, I'm like, this just got like super like awkward and like.
Don't watch the movie for the story. Watch it for the visual effects.
You're like, just watch it for the diamond head guy. Pyramid. Sorry. He does have some sweet ass abs.
Right, he's pretty badass, right?
He does have some sweet ass abs.
He's got a big ass sword.
Then you must love the sequel then.
No,
he's like the good guy in it.
I don't even remember. I watched it once and I was like, what? Don't need to ever watch that ever again.
When are you planning on seeing the new Halloween movie? You're gonna watch it this week coming up? Or?
Yeah.
Scott's going tonight. He's going after the show. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm just gonna steal it. I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I think you can. It's on video on demand, isn't it?
Probably. We have like one of those boxes where you can.
You guys are living on the edge, man. You got living on the edge. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Is there anything else you want to say before you get out of here?
No, just don't judge me on my movie choice. I panicked.
I was gonna say, if you listen to half of our podcast, half the movies that Chris has picked, you're like, fuck, why?
Well, there you go. I mean, everyone talks about all the other fucking movies, so let's throw something else out there. The original.
Yeah, you were definitely original.
Got that going for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out. Like I said, we're gonna get a list of all your over email. We'll get all your contact stuff and we'll throw that in our show notes so that people can find you and get shot by you in any way they want. It sounds like bullet holes, throats cut, whatever.
She's like, and that's my Halloween.
Scott's gonna be hitting you up for some of his own boudoir photos.
Oh, soon. Perfect. Boudoirs.
He wants to be like a hot Michael Myers.
Oh, that's perfect. I've done a few of those.
Yeah, and you can put a mask on him, so you're good to go there.
Exactly.
All right, Andrea, thank you so much, and we will talk to you later. Have a fantastic Halloween.
Awesome. Thanks. You guys too. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Well, Scott, I will not recommend that movie to anyone, even cinematographers and stuff. There are better movies out there you can watch for fucking cinematography. Movie fucking blows chunks.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good movie either, but you know what's super interesting? The sequel is so bad that they're literally bringing back Christophe Gans to write and direct a new remake of his original version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think he left production on the second one. And Roger Avery didn't get to write on the second one because he was in jail for vehicular manslaughter. Interesting side note on Mr. Avery. He's also from Manitoba, Canada. Woo! Way to go, Manitoba, representing in the film world.
I like how you just brought him down and be like, this guy killed somebody. But hey, he's from Canada, so he's okay.
No, he's also from Manitoba, where we just were for the Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're just like, wow, he's okay.
That's all for me, man.
And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com. And you know why this movie didn't make money? It's not as popular because they fucking had Sean Bean and they didn't fucking kill him.
They didn't kill him. People are like, oh, Sean Bean's in a movie. What? He's not dead? This movie's fucking garbage. Variety, fucking everybody else is just like, we're not even gonna recommend this movie because Sean Bean's not dead.
No, I think like in reality, I think there's like two actors that like if they're in it,
They die.
Yeah, it's Sean Bean and Danny Trejo. I think Trejo has the record for most on-screen deaths, but Bean's like literally right behind him.
Yeah, well, he was in Possessor that we covered on our show, and I believe he died a fucking awful death in that one, so...
Mm-hmm. I think that we even made the little joke on that one. Like, you can't have a Sean Bean in a movie without killing him.
That's
right. Probably part of his contract.
That is. Well, clearly it got put in after this, because he should have died in this. Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.